Hey, welcome to TapTapKaboom vlog, episode number 4. And in this episode, I'm going to tell you about my teaching journey because a monumental thing has happened this week. But before we get there, check this. This is like a weird kind of storytelling technique. You start with a hook and then you make them wait. But anyway, let me tell you about a couple of things I've been working on this week and then I'll tell you what happened. Okay, so last week I published my Just Start class and yeah, it's been received really well. I've got a couple of reviews and a bunch of students have taken it and the reviews have been amazing. I absolutely love reviews, whether it's for a Just Start class, which is about goal setting and achieving your goals, or if it's a coding class, an animation class, doodling, illustration, whatever. I flipping love reviews. It makes my heart all fuzzy and warm. It's like, yes, that's amazing. I absolutely love helping people. And I've had reviews and comments from, I don't know, like 12-year-olds all the way up to 70, 80-year-olds. And the idea that I'm helping a range of people, and that range of people on a range of topics, it makes me super happy. The idea that I can be a unicorn, a generalist, and work on classes in this generalist unicorn kind of way is amazing. Like, I teach a bunch of different things, and when I teach a class, I do the audio, we do filming, we do lighting, we do editing, we do doodles, we do class planning, marketing, promotion. Man, there is a bunch of stuff that goes into a class, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. Now, since I last published, since I published my class, I've been doing a little bit of marketing and promotion this week, which has been pretty fun. It's not my favorite thing to do. I normally like to, get on to the next thing or take a break or something like that. But I know that promotion is important, so I've been trying to do a little bit of that. I still got a little bit more to do. I don't like to just rush into it and do it all at once. So I've been trying to do a little bit of that this week. And then I got into my new class, or I got back into my class that I was working on before the Just Start class. And it's a class on Web Typography. And now I think that typography is amazing. It is like super rad. And then when you combine it with the web, it is really cool. But at the same time, very overwhelming. There is so much stuff that you can consider, so many opinions, and it feels like you're really going or moving into this realm of the type geek or the type nerd, and you're like, I don't think I'm, cut out for this kind of thinking. So I want to simplify that, make it approachable, and really just give students a way to win really quickly, teach them the practical stuff, and then give them a framework on how to make decisions when they start doing web typography, what fonts to choose, and not only what fonts to choose, but how to think about how people read and consume information. So I think it's going to be really cool. And what I've done with that is I've been working with Post-its and stickies. Ta-da! Now, I think that working with pen and paper is just amazing. And for me as a visual person, it is way easier than just working on a computer. Like a computer, everything just disappears. Like you type it and you go to another tab or something and poof, it's gone. Whereas with pen and paper, you can see it at all times. You can, reorganize these Post-it notes. I love it. Pen and paper. I'm going to write a blog article on that or something, or maybe even do a vlog on the power of pen and paper. I think it's really cool. So I've been working on that. I've been working on my 100 web characters book, which has been really fun. And I found this thing called Sidecar in the new Mac OS. And you can basically treat your iPad like a second screen. And not only that, you can then, use it as a tablet. So you're going to have Photoshop in your second screen or in your iPad and then just draw on it. So you don't need a Wacom tablet. You don't need any, little funny things or USB things or any like gadgets or thingamabobs. It just works wirelessly, with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or however Apple made it work. And it feels really natural, really smooth. So I've been absolutely loving that. Started in Procreate and now I'm finishing off things in Photoshop. It's fantastic. So I've been working on those two things this week, this new class, and my 100 web characters book and doing a little bit of promotional stuff. And now, what I wanted to tell you guys about is that my first class that I made 4 and a bit years ago, it just reached 10,000 students. Now, if you're playing this comparison game, you may think, that's not so many, people. Not so many students. There are classes on Skillshare that have 30 or 60,000 students that have taken it. Well, I just think that 10,000 people sitting with their laptops and typing, that's a lot of people. 10,000 people. I went to a school with 500 boys in a chapel or a church or something, and there was a lot of people, or 500 of them on a grandstand, all like shouting when we were playing sport. All of those people times by 20. That's how many people have taken that first class. But it's quite weird that this class is like still continuing to get more and more students, because I've made a new version of this class. And this class is all about how to make your first website with HTML and CSS. And you can publish it and share it with the world. And I make it really approachable, really accessible. And I take you step by step through it. Now, the reason why I made this class 4 years ago was because people would stand behind me and be like, Rich, you're just doing like matrix stuff. How do you understand this stuff? You're a genius. You're amazing. I'm like, no, I'm not. This little thing here, this is a P, stands for a paragraph. And then you understand the English in between, the paragraph starting tag and the end tag, right? Yeah. And now this is an H1, stands for heading 1. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And so I realized, man, all that people need is a simple explanation, an approachable explanation. And so in that very first class, I started to handwrite instructions, and it made it really, really approachable, and I got a really good response. And now, what's great about Skillshare is that you don't have to do any marketing or any of your own marketing. So I had 500 students take the class within 1 month, which was just mind-blowing. And then the next month, I had a paycheck from Skillshare. And I think it was like $500 or something like that. Now in South Africa, $500 is quite a lot of money. I was like, Dad, I just got $500 and I may get the same month or the same amount of money next month. Yeah, I'm messing that up. I didn't do that with my dad. I actually spoke really coherently and excitedly. Dad, I just got paid $500 and I may get paid the same amount next month. That's amazing. And from there, it's just continued to grow. And so last week, I published my 27th class. It's been an amazing 4 years. And over that time, the amount of client work that I've taken on has just declined slowly. And then at the beginning of 2019, we basically shut our doors. We said, no more client work unless it's amazing. And we focused on making classes. We bought a camera to, film my face, which was really weird at first because, man, you start to see all of your imperfections, especially when you get a 4K camera. It's like, oh man, I have a pimple there, or my teeth are skew, or man, I have these little bits and pieces of things on my head. That's just awkward, right? And then we upgraded our sound, we got lights. Man, it's been really, really fun, really, really cool. And the thing is, I get to help people. Or my wife and I get to help people. I work at home in a studio. We have Macs here, we have equipment, we have tables, we have a bunch of sticky things. When I say tables, of course we have tables, but this table is one of those raisable standing desk kind of tables, which is really cool. I like it a lot. But we get to help students. We get to help people from literally around the world. We're in Amsterdam. We're helping people Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere. Not quite sure if those are actual things, but literally all parts of the world. It's really, really cool. And when people leave reviews, man, it makes me so happy. Like, really happy. And so the fact that I get to do that on a full-time basis is just amazing. And not only that, so one, yes, I get to help people. And people love to help people. Great. But I also enjoy helping people. This class-making process, developing the curriculum, doing research, engaging with students, filming, editing, doing the lighting, doing all the doodles, the text, the drawings, the diagrams, the class assets, the marketing, the promotion. For me, as a unicorn or a generalist, a jack of all trades, it is, one of the best things. It's literally like everything that I know, I can then just focus it on one product or one class, one thing. I love it. And so if this is, something that describes you, I would recommend making a class. And perhaps this isn't you. It's a place where you can learn how to do stuff. You can learn how to film. You can learn how to edit. You can learn how to do audio and what really works for your students. So whether you're like a grandmaster or you're just just past a beginner at something, your perspective will change other people's perspectives. It will change how they learn, how they approach things. And when you teach something, not only do they learn, but you learn as well. Like the amount of things that are now concretely implanted in my brain is amazing. Animation, coding stuff, productivity kind of stuff, productivity, goal setting kind of stuff, doodling, creativity, illustration. All of these things I've had to really learn so that I can really teach it. And that's amazing. So I would highly encourage you to teach a class. If you go to this URL, you can enter Skillshare's like Teach Challenge. They'll teach you how to make a class. They'll put you in a community of people all making classes. And the great thing is that if you make a good class, Skillshare will promote it, which happened to me. Like, I don't have a big following now. I definitely didn't have a big following 4.5 or 4 and a bit years ago. And so when I made this class, it was like, bam. Skillshare ranked it high. It trended, it did well, and it set me up for future classes. Some of my classes were junk after that because I was like, oh wow, this is easy to make a lot of money. No, it's not about that. It's about helping people. So when you create value, man, Skillshare notices that, other people, all the students notice that, and then they take your class and it gets bigger and gets a lot more students coming in, which means you help more students. Now, I don't know if I started with this, but I help people. I really enjoy what I do and I do get paid for it. And at the moment, I get paid pretty well. I'm not rolling. I'm not like a billionaire. I'm not even a millionaire, but it's pretty good. Like, I have a bunch of money coming in every month. It's passive income. And so every month or every couple of months, I produce a new class because I want to help people. And the amount of money that's coming in supports me during those months, which is great. There's no more pressure at the moment to have to do a bunch of work. And so I get the privilege of researching, of learning, of experimenting and playing. And then based on what I've been experimenting and playing with, I get to teach other people to do the same thing. So I go through the hard yards and I love learning. I absolutely love learning. And then I teach other people and I simplify things. I make it approachable, accessible, and most of all, I make it fun. Because if something's not fun, it's like, who the heck wants to do that? And so that is one of my mantras, like, make it fun. The other one is this quote by, it may be Winston Churchill, but he said, I didn't have time to write you a short letter. So you're like, oh, what an idiot. So then he says, I wrote you a long one instead. And so this has really made a big impact in the way that I teach, the way that I prepare. And it's probably the reason why it takes so long to make a class, is because I want to deliver value in a short and concise amount of time. Like, I don't want to make a 12-hour class or a 31-hour class. Like, I don't have the effort or like the stamina for that. And I'm pretty sure people on Skillshare especially don't have the stamina to watch that. Unless it's really good. But man, that's a lot of effort. So short classes, bam, perfect for Skillshare. So like I said, yeah, you do it. Check it out. Go teach a class on Skillshare. It's a really approachable kind of place to do it. It's not going to cost you anything. You can do it with normal headphones and your phone camera or a screencasting piece of software on your computer. That's what I started with. I didn't have to buy anything else. And it's been a really cool journey. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. A little bit about my journey, a little bit about why I teach, And I think that I won't always produce classes for Skillshare. I think there's a lot of room for something else, different ways to learn. Not all people are video learners or visual learners. Some people need, a little bit more time. They need to be emailed the content, ask questions. They need to be graded. They need some personal interactive feedback. And I'm really looking for that. Like, what is the next step in my journey of helping people, of teaching people? How do I actually help people? And so while teaching on Skillshare, it's felt sometimes like students are a little bit far away. Like, I can't really help them. I can't reach out to them. I can't even message them. So I'm trying to figure out a way to, launch my own platform, do my own thing, and really help students on a smaller, I don't know, even one-on-one or, a smaller level where there's not like thousands of students, but the classes and the way that I teach are more tailored to how people learn and really making a difference in their lives. So, even things like communities or prompts or challenges, things like that, I think can go a really long way. So yeah, for this year, I'm going to be exploring that, trying to produce some different kind of classes. I'll still be creating Skillshare classes because I get a lot of reach out of that. I teach a lot of students, which is amazing. Again, I love reviews, and if you've taken a class and you haven't reviewed one of my classes and you've really enjoyed it, man, please review it. It would mean the world to me. And hey, if you didn't like it, also review it. Let me know why I sucked or why the class sucked or, what can be improved. It makes a big difference. It's like, oh, okay, you don't like that. Cool, let me improve it. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for supporting me. You guys are amazing and you make what I do amazing. You make it so rewarding and it's such a blessing to be able to teach online from the comfort of my home, the comfort of my own studio, just being able to go grab some coffee or go for a walk outside. It's amazing. So thank you. And that is the end of this episode. I messed it up. And that is the end of this episode. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. And that is the end of this episode. Goodbye. I'll see you next week.